Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
Hi guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How y'all doing today? Good? Here again with Dr. Michael Burgess. We are a squad here. We have some disagreements. I don't know if y'all remember, but the last time we had a little team up, we were talking about housing and the question.
The $1 billion question.
About billionaires and the morality or the immorality. And I was glitching out. I've made every precaution on that. So we should, because I am not planning on glitching out with this conversation. I'm going to stay locked in.
Good for you. And I'll take off my cowboy hat.
A really important conversation, Doc, because it's a time where last week alone, 1.8 million Americans filed for unemployment.
Yep.
Still, okay? That number has been
Me too.
magnifying. Exactly. It's been pretty much multiplying ever since March.
Yep.
Let me tell you something else that's happened in March. $584 billion additional wealth to the top 6 earners of the country. So everybody filed for unemployment, and 6 people made $584 billion. Okay?
Who are they? I know one of them that you know consistently. Everybody's whipping boy.
You know why though, right?
I don't. I honestly don't.
Really, I try to understand,
really
Doc. I try to understand your point of view. See, but it seems like all I'm kind of getting from you, it pisses me off. See, you put words in my mouth all the time.
I don't. I ask very simple questions sometimes. I don't mean to belittle anybody. If I seem snarky sometimes, I mean you've got to. It's kind of funny. You are the king of snark, man. Like
I am. Totally.
You like to be provocative. You like to push people's buttons. I'm the same way. It's probably why we both get along, and we. You know, the opposite, as I say, Thomas, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Just so you know, if we get heated, it's not because I dislike you.
Absolutely.
All right, good.
It's somewhat, it's an emotional kind of conversation. This is nothing new, Thomas. This has been going on since like the Egyptians. It's what happened to Socrates. It's kind of what happened to Jesus, you know?
Yeah. And Jesus, he agreed with me on billionaires.
He didn't say anything about billionaires.
Easier for the rich man to go through the eye of a needle than for him to get to the kingdom
Get into heaven. Okay, but that's, you know, so you're saying there's a chance.
Love that movie. That was a great movie. La, 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 la. That's what I feel about the partisans. That's the partisans right there.
Thomas, what I'm saying, and I mean these questions somewhat rhetorically, but I'm very, very honest about this. I really want to understand a point of view that says, we're going to punish you for economic success. And I want to know if it's immoral to make money, at what point? What point is it immoral to be accumulating material success? Or is material success now immoral at all? Scapegoating people and making certain kinds of sort of false dichotomies about, you know, Jeff Bezos, because there's Jeff Bezos, there's poor people. Like that's because there's problems in Chicago. Like, and I've been there. I've been in Englewood. I sell houses. I'm trying to renovate houses with people, and they make it almost impossible for us. Not other business people, the government, the city government. They make it impossible with mob crap, but by, you know, tagging us and you know, we got to pay to play. You know, they cite you with a bunch of stuff, stop your work, and until you pay them for the pay for permits and stuff like that. You pay off the government, you're shut down and you aren't doing anything. It's a real simple question. The government thing and the business people thing. It's a real simple question. If you don't pay Jeff Bezos anything, if you don't buy something from Amazon, if you don't buy something, you don't give your money to Walmart because you're, for whatever reason, and you give it to someone else, what does Jeff Bezos do to you? What does Sam Walton do to you? What can they do to you if you don't pay them?
Maybe I got a little bit too emotional on the fact that, okay, income inequality is at its highest heights, and we're all feeling it. There has not been income inequality since. Yes, exactly. So there hasn't been income inequality like this since the Gilded Age. Okay, I'm trying to answer your question as best as I can. Let me finish.
But what's the reason? I'm sure.
Okay, well, let me finish. Okay, so it's not Jeff Bezos. Okay, it's not his fault that there's income inequality. It's the way the economy has been set up and organized. That's the reason.
I'm marginally with you there.
Neoliberal policies, laissez-faire economics. There's all ways that you can become a billionaire, and most of them have to do with the corporate sector influencing the government. And that is the reason why you have pay to play, is because someone already got there before you, Doc, and they've already greased their palms. So now they're the gatekeepers. And so is Jeff Bezos. It's not his fault that he made $13 billion in a day. However, it is
our fault he did.
Well, it's our fault, Doc, it's our fault, and the fact that the economy is geared and rigged towards that kind of stuff because he has a monopoly on e-commerce. Okay, one of the most largest sectors of retail.
Does he have a monopoly? He's got a huge market share.
He's got 50% of all e-commerce sales stock.
Okay,
let me.
know why?
Yes, I do. The patents and the copyrights and the trademarks. He holds patents and copyrights that other people accomplish because they have to pay to play, right? Just like you. So they have to pay absorbent amount of money.
Pay for the rights. Pay a government.
Exactly.
Pay a government licensing agency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in real estate. Trust me, I understand this stuff. Trust me, I understand this stuff.
So do I.
I understand gatekeepers.
I'm a musician, but I also understand this too because I lived it. Okay, I lived it. So that's how I know.
Being a musician, I had to find out the hard way, Thomas, that being a musician is being a business person.
Same.
Self-employed business person. Come up against the tax laws, come up against all the crap against the so-called gig economy. You know, you can't make your own money. So here's what's funny, Thomas, is for all our, everything you just said, I am 1,000% not only in agreement with, I acknowledge the truth of that.
And I know you do. And I agree with you. And we need to get money out of politics. And we've agreed about that, okay? But I also think that we need to go further.
Politics out of money. Not just money out of politics. Politics needs to stay the fuck out of money. Stay the fuck out of people's business. Stay out of it.
Out of business?
They have no business being in business. The minute the government starts meddling in business, they start picking favorites. I live in Chicago. Trust me, I know this stuff. You start picking favorites. You grease enough palms, you got enough money, you pay the mob. It's all it is. They come and they say, you pay us. And this follows up my question. If you don't pay Jeff Bezos, like we decide, anytime, Thomas, any one of us could tank Amazon. We could tank Walmart. You know how? Quit shopping there.
How do you quit shopping at a place that has 50% of all e-commerce sales?
I get stuff shipped to me all the time from other companies.
And crushes all competition.
It's not all competition. It doesn't crush all competition. You said it had 50%.
Guess I'm going to have to be real technical with you. Can't exaggerate.
They have a huge market share. They have an unfair advantage. Absolutely do. No disagreement. But we give them that. If we still live in a country, for the time being, they're trying to undo that. You can take, yes, we
do that, or do we make an economy that has a capitalist rule, encourages the monopolies? The monopolies form here just naturally.
Capitalism doesn't form monopolies. Government forms monopolies.
Rich people and government form monopolies. That's what happens.
So keep them apart. Our country was designed to let Thomas, Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage. He wasn't Donald Trump. He didn't get $2 million. Bill Gates started fucking Microsoft in his basement as a college student. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook as a fucking college dating.
You have just raised an issue about being self-made, apparently, right? So you think they're self-made because they worked in their garages, and now all of a sudden, bam, billions of dollars.
It wasn't all of a sudden. It's never all of a sudden.
You know what I mean, okay? Stop parsing stuff and just get my point. How did they do that? How did Zuckerberg do that? Did Zuckerberg betray his friends? Don't these people take all the natural resources of the planet, ravage and rape the planet? Then they
government does that.
Then they don't pay their workers a living wage, and then they pay off politicians to make loopholes for their tax codes, and then guess what else? And they have monopolies. Then it's our fault that we buy at Walmart and Amazon. After they've done all of those things, paid off the politicians, created monopoly, and established a freaking hierarchy, and crushed all of competition, then it's our fault that we buy at Walmart?
So don't buy from Walmart. We could crush Walmart. We could end Amazon. We could. As a nation, we could end it. We still have the ability to take our dollar and put it anywhere we want. What happens if all this crap in the government, all their waste, all their fraud, all their ineptitude are against all the military spending and the spending on wars? Guess what happens if you don't pay your state taxes? Guess what happens if you don't give the government your dollars? Guess what happens if you don't pay your red light? I just had to pay a red light camera. That's a fraud. That's a fraudulent organization. Guess what happens if you don't pay those things? What happens to you? What can the IRS do? No, I had to pay. The law is whatever they say it is, Thomas. They can do whatever the fuck they want with impunity. Try not paying, and what happens? They take your license, they take your business, they take your house, they garnish your wages, they come for your bank account. Can Jeff Bezos do that? No. Can Sam Walton do that? No. We give them power, either by keeping them in office. Everyone's blaming Donald Trump, who's been in Washington for 3 years, for all the problems in the country. When you've got Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, fucking Schumer, Biden have been there for how many presidential administrations? How many, Thomas? You probably know. 40 years. How many presidential administrations have come through 40 years?
Look, I'm glad I don't have to defend those guys. Thank God.
I know you don't. But if other people are listening to us, that's my honest question. Where the fuck are you? Give one man either all the praise or all the blame for what is happening in this country when you've got people like that who've held power, who literally hold the purse strings of our country and decide what gets spent, where it gets spent. You just brought the thing up about Nancy Pelosi. She just hijacked the unemployment compensation, where they wanted to take it out, little line item thing. Let's help people who are about to have their unemployment expired. What did she say? There's my question to you. What did Nancy Pelosi do? She didn't allow it to be a separate item. Why didn't she allow it to be a separate item? Because that's how Congress works. Congress sends the president, any president, a big bill with all kinds of shit on it, but they put a couple of real emotional, popular items on the face of the bill, but attach all kinds of crap to it to feed their little pork projects, to feed all their little cronies. She said it flat out. She said she took out the unemployment thing, she would lose her leverage. That's what she said. She admitted it.
Is failing at all of that, by the way. The insidious thing Nancy Pelosi did. She literally planned out 4 stimuluses. You know that, right? You know she planned this out. She planned out not to help the people. Like, she planned out everything. She wanted to get the endowment of the arts and the fucking Kennedy Center first. Then she wanted to get her. Well, first of all, she wanted to get her donors.
Right.
She got her donors first in 48 hours. In 48 hours, this woman with a shopping cart, Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco, and her ice cream truck, rode all the way to Wall Street and Goldman Sachs in 48 hours. I've never seen Congress work that fast before.
Yeah.
I have never seen Congress work that fast before. That was crazy. I was like, what?
Look.
That's the thing I'm talking about, Doc. Why did they work so fast for them? Campaign finance contribution. So you're saying it's not Jeff Bezos' fault?
We created Jeff Bezos.
It's too late to go back. Already, there's a coercion of the rich and the government. And what are we going to do with that?
Guess what, Thomas?
If we get money out of politics, we're still going to have the corrupt fucking rich people, aren't we? And we're still going to have the corrupt politicians.
Not all rich people are corrupt, Thomas.
No, they're not. That's what you just put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I'm talking about the people, the rich people that are influencing the politicians. They are bad, and they are corrupt. I didn't say all rich people were corrupt.
Bezos,
come on.
He pays his employees well, for one thing. Amazon people are paid fairly well, for one thing. And I said he employs a great number of people. You know what I mean? Like, and he gave $10 billion.
At this point,
as much as 2 federal departments to environmental causes.
Where the morality argument comes into place, because he could give.
That's all virtue signaling. I can understand what that is.
I am not virtue signaling, okay?
I know you're not. They are. The corporations are.
It's so sad. You know what we could do with billions of dollars? We could end world hunger.
How?
Throughout the entire world.
We've thrown money at stuff, Thomas. We've thrown money at stuff.
That much money.
Let's go.
Not
education. Yes, we have. Oh my God, yes, we have.
When did we throw billions and billions of dollars at hunger?
Check the federal departments that do it. Look at the welfare programs just in this country. Look at our education.
That was billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. The New Society program. Check your history. Lyndon Baines Johnson. What do you think happened to the inner city of Chicago? What do you think happened? Chicago used to be. This is when segregation still was in place.
Back on black crime.
Chicago used to be the capital of black business, of black entrepreneurship. Lyndon Johnson took care of that. Check Lyndon Johnson's history.
How do you do that?
By creating the Great Society. He made the link. Here's one thing that happened, and this is just flat out fact. Before the New Society program, before you started paying, the federal government put up gigantic structures. I used to see them. They're these big high-rise. They look like Soviet buildings, right? And you just shove people into them. They were called the projects, you know? And you gave women, not men, women, money to basically stay single and have babies. The more babies they had, the more money they got.
What was that?
If you're going to keep people subjugated, Thomas, how do you do that? If you're going to do that, how do you make that happen? You incentivize the worst kinds of activities and outcomes. If you come flat out against, you just like start saying, you know, you can't own your business, you can't make money, Mr. Black Man. Even in 1960, that was pretty unpopular. You couldn't just do that. flat out, except maybe in Alabama, I don't know, but not Chicago. I'm saying, like, it's a campaign that if you're gonna subjugate and make people dependent on you, that's what you do. You feed them.
I remember a different kind of LBJ, of course, because I'm
to gain power. The only thing government people need and want is power and the money that comes from that power.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?